Hey guys, before we go bananas with UFC superstar Felicia Spencer, let's thank a couple of our sponsors. First, Fusion CBD Products. Check them out on fusioncbdproducts.com, also on the Instagram. And right now, to the end of the year, you can save 50% off on all products. Guys, not 25, not 30, 50% off. I use the CBD Instant Relief Rub on the daily. That's what takes care of me and my body. Check them out, guys, at Fusion CBD Products. Also, Warhammer Fightwear. Check out them at warhammerfightwear.com. You can hit them up on the Amazon app. Just put in that search bar, Warhammer Fightwear. They have some of the best gear in all of mixed martial arts for the ladies, for the guys, also for the kids. They have some of the best leggings for all female MMA. It's just incredible stuff at warhammerfightwear.com. You can also follow them on the Instagram under Warhammer_Fightwear. All right, guys, let's go bananas with Felicia Spencer. All right, guys, we got it. Felicia Spencer, UFC fighter, back on the Fight Bananas podcast. I haven't talked to you in forever.
Yeah, it's been a while,
Man, okay, we'll pull the curtain off. We talked last night. It was my fault. I made a mistake. It happens in the business. And so we talked about it last night. You kind of announced your UFC fight, Norfolk, Virginia. February 29th, and then you put it on the Instagram. We wrote about it on Fight Bananas. So already, ton of people really excited, really amped. There's nothing like it. How do you feel now? Finally, it's out there. Norfolk, Virginia, 2020, back in the octagon.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's nice. People have been asking me for months, when's your next fight? When's your next fight? I get it 4 times a day, So finally I can just say, yep, it's on that day. This is what I'm fighting.
Right.
So it's good to announce it and everything. So
very cool. One thing we talked about last night a lot is, a couple weeks ago, maybe 10 days ago in that area, you just got married. What a 2019 for you. Debut, UFC, had a win, had a great, experience with Cyborg. We talked about that. We'll kind of bring that back up again. But talk about finally getting married with Todd. He was there last night. We talked to him. He's fighting February 15th, Combat Night, Tallahassee. Very excited. But yeah, tying the knot.
Yeah. Well, Todd, I'm excited for Todd's fight just as much as mine. It's been a long time, coming. He's had a little bit of a layoff. So, and he's a monster. So I can't wait for him to be right next to me in the UFC. Yeah, we've been together for so long, and it was like, well, it's hard to plan a wedding around fight schedules and not knowing when you're fighting all year. So we're like, let's just hurry up and get married while we don't have anything lined up. So we put it together pretty quickly. It was a really nice small wedding, December 6th, and now we're married. So finally.
Finally.
It was a really busy couple weeks at Thanksgiving, my birthday, our wedding, and then announcing the fight, and now, of course, holidays, and then back to the grind. So super exciting. I love being in fight camp at the same time because, we can really push each other and, make sure that we're leaving to the gym in time. We really push each other, and
right.
It's nice to be with somebody.
and last night, Todd talked about that, and it looks like you guys were joking about it, but is it a good asset that you guys are both in training camp at the same time that, so if he's not, or if you're not, and if you want to eat McDonald's or dessert late at night, you guys are kind of keeping yourself in line, training more. Is that definitely a good asset?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of used to, I've had a more busy fight schedule the last couple of years. So I'm kind of used to being the only one in the room, just eating the chicken and whatnot. But no, it's really cool when he gets to, when we get to be in camp together. Like I said, we are at the gym together more. It's like we really put in more time. We push each other when we don't want to get up in the morning, So it's really cool. It's nice to have someone that kind of gets what you're going through and is right there with it. So.
Right. Norfolk, Virginia, February 29th. Also on the card is Meg Anderson. It's definitely looks like they're definitely trying to set up what's next for the featherweight division in 2020. And you can't talk that much about the featherweight division without talking about Amanda Nunes. Title defense, UFC 245 versus GDR. I would love your take, your outlook on Amanda Nunes, the champ.
Yeah, I mean, she's earned it. She's earned her title, and I know she wants to defend that title. Like you said, I think this card here in February is trying to find the next contender. And I would never overlook fighting Zara Farron dos Santos. So I would never overlook her, but knowing what Amanda wants to do is defend that belt, and it seems like the timing would probably work out for a quick turnaround for whoever looks the best on that night, really.
Right.
I confidently can say, I'm going to win, even though I don't want to overlook her. I'm going to take her seriously. I know anything can happen, especially when your guard's down. So my guard is up. But you can definitely expect I'm going to be calling for a title shot that night when I have my hand raised.
Wow, that's awesome. So excited for you. Cannot wait. February 29th, Norfolk Scope. 2020, right around the corner. So excited for mixed martial arts, UFC. One thing we didn't talk about was the last, later of this year, the MSG card, Georgie Masvidal, BMF title, The Rock. With me being so in the mixed martial arts world, so much in the forest, right? Sometimes you don't understand middle class and mainstream America. And when my uncles and nieces talk about the UFC, then I'm like, oh, wow, they hit something. So I feel like they're on the right track. What's your take on UFC trying to get a little bit more mainstream, ESPN, Reebok, Madison Square Garden, The Rock, kind of using, bigger things. It looks like Floyd, Money Mayweather might try to do something with Dana in 2020. What's your take on the UFC trying to get a little bit more mainstream?
I mean, I think it's been the goal for a long time. They've always been pushing for it more and more. And then, they kind of hit a point where they're like, well, we don't want to, lose our quality that people love just to be mainstream. So it still, keeps some of its character and, it's still a little bit unusual. But, it's all, people want to relate to something that they love, and if you can connect sports with other entertainment, like having The Rock put a belt on someone, that's awesome. More power to you if they have those kinds of connections, and more fighters are, when they retire, they're still capable, young people, young adults, not young adults, but young enough to start another venture. So I think just the exposure, a lot of fighters who have, fought and moved on has opened up doors for a lot of fighters now to have more, bigger variety of outlets to be promoted in and stuff like that. So it's all coming together.
Right. UFC 265 Bantamweight Championship. If you had a celebrity or a sports athlete like The Rock, who did it for Georgie Masvidal, put the title around your waist, who would you pick?
That's a great question. Off the top of my head, said that I think it would be really cool to have Gina Carano put a belt on. I think for just symbolic. It's not a big mainstream name, although she's a movie star now.
Yeah, she's in that Star Wars show.
For the old school MMA fans to see someone like that come in and have a big honor, doing that. So
yeah, no, Gina's humongous, just a pioneer in the game, and now, like you said, she's a movie star. She's on that Disney Plus Star Wars Mandalorian show. She's awesome. She's that's a good one off the top of your head. I liked it. Going in for 2020, you know how much we love and appreciate you, shooting superstar in the game. Also, there's 3 other females I would love for you to talk about. Macy Barber, Aspen Ladd, and then Irina Donna, who just had that left-hand hook at UFC 245. Seems like the female UFC game is definitely in good spot going into 2020.
Yeah, I mean, there's some. It's exciting that there are prospects, coming up, making the divisions more and more competitive. Every division has someone up and coming, coming for the title. So, I've been impressed with Irene, especially Aldana, since her Invicta debut. I think her and Alexa debuted at the same card. I think they're teammates. I'm not sure. I think they are. But I've been a huge fan of Irene, especially for a long time. And Aspen also, I really enjoy watching her fights. And Macy's, she's exciting.
She is.
She's definitely a character though, so it's interesting. I can see all of them, sticking around, making a name for themselves in the mainstream.
Absolutely. Another hot thing that's happened in 2020 that just took place a couple days ago. UFC Fight Pass, the Quintet Ultra. It's a grappling match, grappling super fights. And it's just really hot right now, especially what they did with UFC versus WEC versus Strikeforce versus Pride. I guess it went really, really well. Danielle Kelly submit Cynthia like in 17 seconds, and she's a superstar in that. And we kind of talked about it last night. I always thought about you in that realm. I just think you're tremendous on the ground. Your submission game is just bar none amazing, and especially. If you only want to fight once or even twice a year, and you want to kind of keep it busy, keep your competitive juices flowing, and pick up a grappling match, once a quarter, once every 6 months as well to kind of keep the year going. I always thought that you would be awesome in that. I would love your take with the quintet and grappling and super fights just in general.
I didn't actually get to watch that, but I know especially UFC Fight Pass just has a lot to get, to immerse yourself in now. And especially with, like you said, the grappling tournaments, the quintet, which is a little unusual. And then Invicta's doing like Phoenix series, and they have all kinds of stuff going on. So, it would definitely open up, a door to be able to make money in between those big fights without going through a big fight camp. So it's definitely something that would be interesting, if the UFC got involved with that, or worked with partners like Invicta, and I know they have a bunch of partners on Fight Pass, to let the fighters cross over and make, still be making money. So it would definitely be something I'd be interested in. I never really thought much about, like, when people offer me to do grappling tournaments now, it's like, well, I want to be ready for a fight. I don't want to get injured, that kind of thing. Right. But if it was all kind of connected, as part of it, then it would be something to consider for sure.
Right.
It makes it exciting.
Absolutely. I would. Also, I would love for you to kind of talk and kind of shed some light to the Other Side Apparel. We've been talking with them. We had Megan Colley live here in the studio, and we brought them up a lot. I just love what she does. I love her heart, her desire, her work ethic, and I know she's kind of been with you literally since day one or day two of it. I would love for you just to kind of shed some light to Other Side Apparel. Yeah,
well, Other Side, the the owner, the creator, the power behind it. This woman is like just 100% passionate about quality, just being genuine and supporting athletes and just being a part of the sport. And they'll have other items, but right now they have these amazing hand wraps that she goes to my gym, which is how I ended up being able to work with her so soon. They developed hand wraps that you've never felt anything like it until you've worn these hand wraps. They're moisture wicking, anti-odor. They don't tangle when you try to put your hands wrapped. They're not folded up, and you're not trying to iron out your hand wraps. They're super easy to put on all the time. And she gave me a prototype, I think, before my Invicta title fight, or maybe even before that. And literally the first day I put them on, I never put my old hand wraps back on since then. It's been over a year. Just, she gave me a couple versions of it. We worked together and, gave her my 2 cents, and she's super receptive to, what fighters want and what fighters need. And she came up with a perfect product, honestly. So right. I'm really excited to be working with her on it, and hopefully everyone will have a chance to try out those hand wraps. You can use my FEENOM discount code if you want to go on and type FEENOM for the discount. You get 15% off.
Boom! We're saving the world money. We're solving all problems here at Fight Bananas Podcast. Another thing that kind of crosses.
It's not too late.
Another kind of crossover that goes with Other Side, and we talked about it. I seen the Bobby Fish, who's an NXT fighter, wrestler, and he had the hand wraps. And I see all the time on the Jungle on Instagram, they always have NXT wrestlers in and out, and. I would love to know where that started, where that relationship came from. It's always good for the gym. It's always good, advertising, marketing. You see these guys have big followings. They're now on USA on every Wednesday night. So how did this relationship with NXT wrestling and the Jungle MMA and fitness kind of happen?
It's hard to say exactly when like who it started with, but once you know someone at the gym and you feel comfortable, they bring friends, and I think when people gym hop around town when they're trying out new gyms to find where they want to be, when they go to the jungle, they usually find the right atmosphere, especially for someone who's not trying to come in and get, no one's trying to, check their ego or, people like that, athletes like that, for the most part, they're super humble and they're not trying to hurt anybody. They're not trying to get hurt before they go perform like that. So I think they just found the jungle to be a good family, a good unit, a good family, and, we have fun there. So, I can't say who it started with, but we definitely had a pretty good number of interesting characters from wrestling come through the gym and grapple with us all the time.
Right. No, that's awesome. It's just, the connection there. Orlando, they're kind of based out of Orlando, Florida, with their performance center. We're here talking with Felicia Spencer, UFC Phenom. A couple questions, we'll let you go. So excited. February 29th, Norfolk Scope Arena, UFC back at it. We've been talking for a couple years. You started in 2015 Invicta, the championship last year, your UFC debut this year. What has changed the most, personally or even in the gym? What is there a life lesson? Is there something like, wow, I wish I would have done different? Or no, every single step, every pitfall or rise, I love the roller coaster. Is there anything? What was the last 5 years like have been in Felicia Spencer's life?
It's been like every year is bigger and better, and there's like a huge accomplishment I've had for each of the last 5 years. I have to be grateful for where it all led me. Even though my last fight didn't go my way, I feel like a lot of it is on me not executing my game plan or just what I'm capable of doing. So, but I take away a lot from it, and the last time I lost a fight, I went on like a 10 fight win streak, so, or 11 fight. So I kind of, I take it with a really positive learning experience. And, I would feel 100% confident going into another fight with Cyborg, in the next fight, whether, of course it's not going to happen now, but,
you never know. You never know.
I'm not, down and out about it. I don't question my ability. I just need to be able to execute. But now, it's kind of given me like another spark. When I'm training, it's like I just feel more calculated and more just ready to just pounce on it, and just take what I came for, which is enough wins to get the title. So I'm excited to be in fight camp, go through the grind again and have that kind of spark under me at the same time and see how that fight plays out. Cause I think it's going to be a lot more exciting.
Right. Yeah, we do too. And we brought up the Cyborg fight. It's, moments and, we talked about Stephen, Griffin, the Bonner Griffin fight UFC, and like how many fans Donald Cowboy Cerrone have. Donald Cerrone doesn't have the greatest record. Even Georgie Masvidal right now, who's bar none the biggest star in mixed martial arts in UFC, he's like 35-13, 14. He like 2 years ago he was like 2-2 in the UFC that year. What you did against Cyborg was just so to be applauded and to be admired. You just showed so much heart and grit, even a ton of skill as well. Caught her a couple times. It didn't go your way, but I feel like in the long run, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, when you're champion and this 11-fight win streak happens for you again, you're going to look back and be like, wow, that was like that moment that kind of sparked your title run and almost like a big fandom. And I know, fandom isn't everything, but it's just kind of cool to have all this support. And I really think you won a lot that night in a way. So, congrats.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of bizarre because after people were just congratulating me for like a month after, and it was like I lost, that, right? But they're like, no, like seriously, that was awesome, congrats. So, it was kind of an unexpected reaction to how it turned out, but it's been inspirational for me to see like people sending me and telling me like how that inspired them. Right. It's like what? That performance was something that you admired, and it's like, I can see that you're more driven because of something like that. It makes me even more like pumped to just make it happen again. We're better, bigger and better every time. So yeah, I definitely take away a lot from that. And yeah, I can see looking back on that loss as a big step forward again in my
Absolutely.
performance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chael Sonnen said it was the greatest female fight of all time. I remember Dana White, and he doesn't use the L word a lot. Like he goes, I love that fight. Like I love Felicia Spencer. And I know you guys talked, after the show, but it was just, yeah, the whole mixed martial arts world was like, wow, I felt everyone knew you, but they were just expecting Cyborg to kind of walk through because that's what she's done for 14 straight years until Amanda Nunes. And you're like, no, I'm here. I'm Felicia Spencer. I'm going to be in the octagon for a long, long time until you want to not be in the octagon anymore. Just so happy for you. Congratulations. What a 2019. Like some people, they live their dream. And they make it to the UFC. You don't make it to the UFC, you win. You have one of the best female fights in the history against Cyborg. You get married. You're living in a beautiful state, Orlando, Florida. It's just you're living the dream. Felicia Spencer, 2019.
It's been awesome. I'm super grateful for everything that's led me here and all the people in my life that have helped me get here. So.
That sounds great. Like I said, we're so excited, so happy for you. February 29th. Norfolk Arena. Scope, is it on? I think it's on ESPN, right? It's Fight Night.
I actually am not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the Fight Night. I'm not sure if it's on Plus or not.
Right. Wow. So happy for it. We'll definitely talk to you before that. We'll talk to you that week going up to the fight. And just continue success. Happy holidays to you and your husband, Todd. We'll see him actually in Tallahassee, I think, on the 15th. We're so excited for him as well. And, just have a great rest of the year.
Awesome. Thank you, too. Everyone, happy holidays, and thanks for watching.
Awesome. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye. There she was, guys. Felicia Spencer, UFC superstar. Invicta FC champion, by the way. And I don't want to predict the future. I don't want to just say what's going to happen. But 2020 summer, champion, featherweight UFC championship belt coming her way. I see a 10-11 fight win streak. All right, I said it. I'm sorry. Man, thank you so much, Felicia Spencer. Her husband, Todd. Very, very great people living in Orlando, Florida. Todd is fighting on February 15th, a couple weeks before Felicia, for Combat Night in Tallahassee. And if you've never been to a Combat Night Tallahassee show, oh my goodness, worth every dang dollar. Combat Night does it humongous in Tally. It's kind of like the home, their birthplace. Big ups to Combat Night Tallahassee, February 15th. All right, guys. I love how Felicia Spencer, UFC, big-time fighter, big-time featherweight rank, just so humble, really loyal. I just love, her day ones, how, the Other Side in Peril, the Jungle MMA and Fitness. Go hit theotherside.com, put in that discount code FEENOM, FEENOM, N-O-M. Definitely show them some love. Show Felicia Spencer some love. Hit her up on the IG, the Instagram, FEENOM, FEENOM. 479 Phenom 479. It's awesome. It's just really cool and gracious to see. She could big time. She's a superstar now, but she stays humble. She stays who she is, and she's a great person and a great fighter as well. So don't cross the line. You know what I mean? Wow. Talking about staying humble, the Fight Bananas podcast puts our nose to the ground and keep on grinding. We have a big meeting. Hopefully everything goes well. I think there's some big stuff happening. We cannot wait. 2020 is just going to be bananas. But make sure you subscribe and download to the podcast on any podcast platform. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to the Fight Bananas YouTube channel. Always, always, always content galore. Even the last 10 days, I'm talking about King Mo, Cub Swanson, this Felicia Spencer, and so much more. How about the UFC 245 recap? How about Babalu? it's just, we're just getting icons in the sport of mixed martial arts, and we have a couple things planned, a couple things up our sleeve. It's going to be out of this world. But hey, big news is happening soon for me personally. The twin girls, our baby girls, they're happening soon. I'm so excited. Family of 6. Oh, my goodness. So definitely keep on subscribing. I need those. I need the sponsor checks to slide in. Family of 6, guys. Come on, help us out. Guys, thank you so much for listening. This is Dave Van Auken. You have been listening to the Fight Bananas podcast. Thank you so much to the Phenom, Felicia Spencer.